Hey guys, I decided to do a PTR video to show you kind of what I'm thinking so far of the new patches changes and kind of give you a rundown of what I'll be doing on my Demon Hunter. As you can see, I switched to fire by my Cinder Coat. So the reason I did this was because mainly they changed it so your sentries only cast when you cast. I can't do it in town, but you'll see in the last part of the video where I do a rift. That told me I need to cast more and I need to cast a lot more powerful things. So I decided to go with the most spammy thing I could think of and use a Cinder Coat with a bunch of fire abilities. So just so you know, the rift at the end is in real time, so it does take like 8 minutes or something, but you can see how fast things die. Also, so you know, if things do change in a significant manner, I will make another video addressing the changes if I feel it's necessary, just in case anyone's interested. So my build is simply 5 pieces of Marauders, and you can see these 5. It's head, shoulders, hands, legs, and feet. I'm using a Royal Ring of Grandeur with Enforcer. I'm using Traveler's Pledge, and this is just because it's fire damage, dexterity, critical hit damage with a socket. I'm using that with Bane of the Powerful. I rolled a Reaper's Wraps until it was ancient and had fire damage, which was pretty lucky actually. And you can see ancient items are the new thing. You can see that it has more dex and vitality than it normally would. I am also running Unity on my character and on my Templar. I have Bane of the Trapped in there, probably going to change it out for something, not sure what yet, and Witching Hour, which is, you know, pretty standard. So my passives are Ambush, Ballistics, Custom Engineering, and Night Stalker. So Custom Engineering now adds a charge to your sentries, which I'll explain in a second, and Night Stalker gives you 4 more hatred instead of discipline every time you use a generator. My skills are Cluster Arrow Loaded for War. I use this primarily to kill bosses or high life elites, I guess. I'm using Evasive Fire with the fire damage modifier. This is kind of by choice. You could, for instance, use something like Focus with Night Stalker and gain back your hatred even faster. I personally like the fire damage AoE, so that's what I decided to go with. Now, you'll see that I'm using Multi-Shot Arsenal. Now, it's kind of weird, but with the new set, for every sentry you have out, some of your skills, multi-shot and multi-shot and cluster arrow included, and all of your generators, do 100% more damage. So I'm getting multi-shots that hit for like 50 million on white targets, which is, you know, a pretty big number. Last thing, like I said, you have charges on your sentries, so you can go and just lay them down like one after another. Takes probably your APS, so I would lay down 3 in about a second and a half, which isn't too bad. I'm using Vault Tumble, and I'm using Companion. So this last part will be just kind of me running through a rift. I'll explain the first couple seconds just to kind of show you what I would normally do. You'll see the Rift Guardian dies pretty fast, which is pretty awesome. And then, you know, if you guys have anything to say, you can say it in the comments or whatever. Message me if you have any build ideas. I'd like to hear it. I'm actually looking to see what I'll be doing in the next patch to try to grind up to that #1 spot. But, you know, on the off chance that your build is better than mine, I might steal it. So with that being said, I will now go into the rift. Alright, so I go in. First thing I do is, lay a couple of sentries, and then I just start spamming multi-shot. You can see every time I multi-shot, a rocket comes off when the sentry multi-shots, and it's really nice. I already run to my first elite, so, you know, I'm like, hey, I'll lay a couple more down. Now watch how fast the elite dies. I have to find him. There he is in that shield. I lay down my last sentry, and then I just kill him. Keep in mind this is Torment 6. That thing literally died in like 3 seconds as soon as all those sentries started wailing on him. You hit so hard with Cluster Arrow that it just seems necessary to do. So, like I said, I'm just going to do that for the first little part of this. So, you know, you get the idea of what you're supposed to do now. You know, a lot of rocket damage, a lot of fire damage, and then you just run through. So with that being said, you guys enjoy it.
Can't look you in the face. I don't want love to lie. I wanted this love to survive. Now then, like in your I feel paralyzed.